like 10 ways to integrate or something. Well, first,
Mm-hmm.
what is it that what are you excited about this conference?
Oh my God, I'm so excited about so many things. First of all, I think just organically how all of it has come together.
Yep.
Right, we came together as three people with different backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to actively engage with psychedelic medicine and community in a new way.
Yep.
So I'm thinking like the fact that we're able to create an idea or have an idea and like move into a mode of creation without worrying, like we were talking about earlier, about all of the hows, like how are we going to get there, how are we going to get the funding, whatever that looks like. It's like this is where inspiration comes from. And so for us, for me, I'm excited to just create something that's organic and original and educational and inspirational for our community, but also for ourselves, you know? So, what are you excited about in this process?
What am I excited about? The Ancestors Project. Shout out to the Ancestors Project. I'm excited to be creating with people that I enjoy building with and creating with. That's just such an understatement, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta give a shout out to Gary Murray.
Gary, oh my God, where is Gary? Where is Gary?
I felt what you said though about when you're starting a business and you don't have to think about certain things. You can just go. Yeah. Because oftentimes you're so like, I can't do certain things because I won't be able to pay for this or do that, right? So rarely have I started a business where I could just go.
Yeah.
Right? And be like, you know, let's just get it done and it's going to make sense. And this one's one that's really just been able to flow really smoothly for that reason. Yeah, I just remember in our wireless business, and this is a conversation between you guys, not me, but we had to make all kinds of bad decisions, you know, just to survive.
Yeah.
Right. so that puts a stress that like doesn't let you think as freely as we are right now. So you said it much more eloquently, but I felt that.
Yeah.
My favorite podcasts are the ones where like there's somebody off camera who's talking. You know what I mean? Like
I love that.
It's so great. Yeah.
I'll be that guy.
Yeah.
It invites in that like imagination of like a story almost, you know. And I also love podcasts that are not too edited, overly edited. It's like you can take out some spaces between like, you know, a pause and a thought, but also those pauses are important. You know, it gives character to like a conversation, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I like it to be natural. And a lot of what we're doing is really natural and just like trying to find, always going back to our values and our intentions in all that we're doing, you know.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys a question. What's missing in content in the world we're going into? What does the space need? I mean, it'd be pretty easy for us to clone what others are doing. If you thought something was missing that would add value to the world, what would that be? And you might have to think about that for a second.
It's a good question.
Yeah. So should I answer? So the main thing for me is this. When it comes to content, you know, my goal for this and the value that I bring to what we doing, you know, as a voice is being the neighborhood Zoe, who also rocks with psychedelics. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's super valuable just to be able to have like that being able to be relatable in the sense that it's like you don't have to do this thing in the mountains. You don't have to do this thing in the valleys. You know what I mean? In the jungles, like, you know, there's folks right here in the inner city who use this as a way to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when you're thinking like, or when you're sharing that you want to create community in which people can share their experiences and recognize that it's not so far outside of themselves.
Yeah.
You know, so like reducing the stigma. Because when you really like think about back 70 years ago, 50 years ago, when all the research was halted by the government and all of these substances moved to Schedule 1 with no medical value, right? Like, how insane is that? Right? So like both of us are people that want to, all three of us are people that want to challenge norms and think outside of the box. right?
Yeah.
And so we can only do that and really tap into our freedom when we have the ability to use what the earth gives us, you know, that we are like creating more relationship with the land through and our natural environment through these medicines.
Yeah, I mean, you got Chucks on. Like,
I do.
nah, but and you know how awesome that is? Like, you got Chucks on talking about psychedelics. That's like not seen or heard. You know what I mean? I feel like there's and we're in Center City, Philadelphia, at the mall.
At the mall.
Talking about this.
At Rec,
you know, shouts to Rec Philly.
Yeah.
But it feels good, you know. I feel like there's this like sense of there's this like image that's tied to psychedelics, and it's like either you have a like a what's that thing called, like a lab coat, you know,
like the modern world of psychedelics,
right? Or you have like you know, respectfully, like the modern, you know, like the ancestral garbs on. And I think what we bring and what's missing is the in between.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
like your average person who goes to work, comes home, maybe microdoses while they meditate.
Yeah.
Right?
I know a guy like that.
You know a guy like that. He's
Yeah.
familiar. And on my end, that's beautiful. And I totally agree with that. On my end, I think, you know, in terms of content and what value I want to share with our audience and people in our community is like the ability to receive more education and receive training through community from people of color, from a shared identity and shared set of experiences. Like that's to me what's missing. And I know we have like the Ancestor Project, and amazing organizations that are BIPOC led, that are stepping up, like the Fireside Project by Hanifa Washington, that are like peer support where you can call in if you're in a difficult journey, difficult situation. And, you know, for me, being in the space for the past like 7 years, working underground mostly, aside from the last year moving into the above ground space, it was hard for me to connect with community. It's like we have all these different pockets of like decrim community, which is awesome, and even like the therapists and the clinicians, but we need, and the advocates, but we need a space where we can all come together and use that space as opportunity to grow our own practices and to grow individually, whether that's like personal growth or spiritual growth journey. You know, so. You know,
sometimes you gotta build your own lunch table.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta build that lunch table and then open, you know, come with open arms, you know, in a new way. You know, not to say that other folks weren't welcoming people to their lunch table, but sometimes,
we're also going to create a space for that, you know?
Sometimes that's the vibe that comes off. So, like, I think that's another thing that we're bringing in is just this welcoming energy into the psychedelic world.
Yeah, a welcoming energy. I love that. And also, our story is really interesting together because we've known each other for, I don't know, many years now, it feels like.
Many years.
And through Global Village, which is your community.
Yeah.
And, you know, you came to me looking for medicine work, you know, facilitation.
Yeah, that's wild.
And so, like, that kind of has been your start in this process. And I've served that role for many in our community. And now I'm really at a point where I want to expand that and teach other people how to do that.
Yeah.
You know? So.
It's time.
It's time. We're in a cool spot.
We're in a cool spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 8 minutes and 53 seconds.
Okay. We need another question.
Oh, so if you were to look back, I'll edit that part. So if you were to look back from a year from now, what would success look like?
Wow.
Okay.
Play me back.
Visualize it.
Visualize and play me back. What happens this year and where you're at in 12 months? Be unrealistic with your expectations.
Okay.
I love that. Okay. So when you say that, I need a moment to think on it, right? To visualize what that's going to be like. I have spent time doing that.
Yeah, assume everything went right.
Everything went right. What it brings me to, though, right away, is Joe Dispenza's meditations, where he teaches you to create a state of meditation for yourself, where you're tapped in to your future visions and teach your body to believe that those things have already happened. You know, so when I think about like leadership and success of like what this organization, what our organization in Philadose is going to do, I envision an impactful business where we are creating conscious community to share experiences around these medicines. I envision amazing aligned partnerships with other organizations who are doing also very impactful work where we can make impact on the ground level. I also see an awesome festival that's, you know, is going to really take off and have people be able to think about alternative solutions to major problems that we face, and that we will be able to create abundance within ourselves personally, us as a team, us as a business, because you can only share once you've received. So that's where I'm at. That's what I envision to some degree.
Wow, that was great. I like your visions.
Thank you.
So I think, I mean, a lot of what Aubrey said. I think
Let you speak to the festival.
No, I think that was great. So in 12 months, looking back, what I envision is folks within the city, from people who live in North Philly to Fishtown to No Libs to Center City, you know, from corporate to creative to entrepreneurial, you know, be excited to be coming into the Philadose Psychedelic Summit Part 2, 2023, in a bigger space, because now more people are excited and feel less shame and more safe within themselves and outwardly to talk about it, being excited to be sitting in their seats and being involved in this movement. And that's like the top thing. And then from that, having a sustainable business where we can share and demonstrate how you can create a sustainable business around your real interests.
Yeah.
You know?
Creating meaning in your life.
Creating meaning in your life.
And sharing that with others.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know? And then just coming off of a really dope festival, you know? Our you know, maybe some mastermind groups.
Oh, definitely some mastermind groups.
A team retreat that we just like coming off of after, you know, celebrating an amazing year, and being and having the abundance that keeps flowing, you know, from a resource standpoint and also from a financial standpoint, to create the foundation to continue doing this work and pushing this movement forward, you know?
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
The retreat piece is really intriguing to me because I was thinking about that last night as I was going to sleep.
Yeah.
Visualizing all of us after going through a medicine experience together and being able to really integrate and be like, wow, look at what we've accomplished. Look at the impact we've been able to have.
Yeah.
And how do we take this new information we get from, like, I like to take things in cycles by seasons, you know, like winter's coming, you know, how do we integrate what's happened in the fall and use that information to really make strategic decisions that informs all of the rest of the year and all of the planning and the events and the memberships and courses, all of these things. So we want to feel confident, we want to feel empowered, we want to feel aware
and still excited
and have fun.
Yeah.
That's key.
That's great.
Yeah.
Nice. That was good, guys. 14 minutes. You won't even notice the break.
Fantastic.
That's great. I'm excited.